Hey, before we get into today's episode, I have a special event that I'd like to share with you. If you are anything like me, someone who takes on all of the things, says yes to everything, and then winds up feeling burnt out, tired, and exhausted at the end of the day, I have a workshop that is just for you. In this 1-hour event, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 steps to help you reclaim your energy, find balance, and bring joy back into your life. And in just 1 hour, you'll learn practical tools like how to manage stress in a way that works for you, a quick way to shift from overwhelm to calm, and how to create a small daily habit that will make a huge difference in how you feel every day. You're going to walk away feeling more energized, present, and in control, ready to bring balance back into your busy life. And the best part, it's totally free. Go ahead and head to the link in the show notes to sign up for this event. It is March 4th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And if you can't make it live, no problem. I will send you the recording after. Go ahead and sign up, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now, let's get on to today's episode. I'm Jennifer Della Quadri, and this is Subtle Shifts, the podcast where you'll learn how to transform your life from the inside out, one small, meaningful shift at a time. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about 5 steps you can take to reach any goal. And I say any goal because I know all of you are coming here with different things that you want for yourself in your life. And maybe this is a goal that you've had for a really long time and you just don't know why you haven't achieved it. Or maybe it's something you've been working on for a while and you're just wanting a strategy for how to really get to where you want to go. So before I dive in, I just wanted to share a little background on this. I have spent years in the self-development industry, reading all of the books, listening to all of the podcasts. I've also coached hundreds of people on improving their lives, improving their relationships, improving their health. And this process that I'm going to explain to you would work every time for all of them and for myself. So I shared a few episodes ago on my experience hitting midlife and going through perimenopause and going through menopause, weight gain, etc. And I want to share with you that story because I'm going to explain it to you, the process that I talked about, the 5 steps, through the lens of that transition that I made. So if you didn't listen to that episode, long story short, I was feeling like my life that was it. Like, this is it for my life. I was feeling dissatisfied. I was feeling unhealthy, even though I was working out and eating healthy foods. My hormones were out of whack, but I didn't really know. And I was wondering, I guess the best years of my life are behind me. And this was almost exactly a year ago today. And fast forward a year later, I've lost 15 pounds. I'm stronger. I'm lifting weights. I have gotten my hormones under control. I've gotten my mental health under control. And following this 5-step strategy helped me get there without the stress. And I like to say that my approach is the opposite of 75 hard. If you've ever heard of 75 hard, that is not my approach. It's really intense, 75 hard, if you've never heard of it. It's like you make these decisions and you stick to it. It's very militant. I am not militant. That doesn't work for me because I know in my life, anytime I try to push really hard at something, that it drains me. It takes away my energy. And then I end up not wanting to do it anymore. And then I feel like a big fat failure. And it's like, well, what was the point in doing that? I know that about myself. It works for some people. It doesn't work for me. So if it doesn't work for you, here's an alternative that can be helpful. Let's get into the 5 steps. So step 1 is gratitude for where you are. And I say this is the most important step, no matter what you're wanting. You need to start with appreciating where you are. Otherwise, you're going to be going into it from a feeling of lack. I'm not good enough. This isn't good enough. Nothing ever works in my favor, or anger and frustration. And everything you're going to do from that point is going to be like beating yourself up. So the gratitude is for who you are, what you have and everything that you can possibly think of in your life that you're grateful for. So going back to when I was a year ago, dissatisfied, I did look at the things I was grateful for, and I was very clear to be grateful for things that may be overlooked. Like, for example, our car. We have 2 old cars. We haven't bought a new car since my oldest daughter I was pregnant with her, and she's turning 20 this year. And it's been that long since we bought a car, okay? So our cars are old. And I would be driving the car around sometimes thinking, gosh, why can't we just be able to invest in a new car? It'd be so amazing if like I could drive this new car. So instead of like beating myself up, like I suck, we can't invest in a new car, I would look at this car and I would be driving it and be so grateful that I have a car that works, that's safe, that holds the people that I care about in it, and that gets me to the places that I want to go. I would literally drive the car and think, I'm so grateful for this vehicle that I get to drive. It's like changing your perspective. Same thing with the way I was feeling about my body. I would look at myself in the mirror and my brain would immediately go to, gosh, look at you. You really let yourself go. So that took really intentional effort on my part to notice, I'm so grateful that I have these 2 strong legs that allow me to walk my dogs. I'm so grateful that I can get up and off the floor, sit down, lay down. I can practice yoga. Look at what my body can do. My body has brought 2 children into the world. Isn't it incredible? I have a mind that allows me to express how I'm feeling and share the things that I want to share with the world. I have a home that I live in. All of these things. Take a moment. And I'm not talking one moment. I'm talking multiple moments throughout the day. And maybe it can be just before you go to bed. You write down 3 things that you're so grateful for and be really intentional about it so that you can shift your mindset from nothing goes my way to everything is going my way. Because that's what's going to get you to your goal, is the belief that everything goes your way. Even if what you're seeing on the outside isn't what you're wanting right now or yet. So that's step 1. Step 2 is clarity. Getting clear on what it is you want. If you're not clear on what you want, then how are you going to make steps to get there? So that may involve visualizing what you're wanting, talking it through with somebody, like I'm feeling dissatisfied, I'm not really sure what I want for myself, but it's not this. Processing it, writing in your journal, getting clear. What do you want? And for me, what I wanted was to lose weight. I wanted to lose weight, and I still feel uncomfortable saying that because I have this big stigma around even talking about losing weight because I was brought up in diet culture where it was like, diet, 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 lose weight, thin is better. And so when I think of lose weight, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be that person. But I did. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to feel comfortable in my clothes and in my body like I had years before. So I got clear on that. I wanted to lose weight. I also wanted to have more energy. I also wanted to get my mental health under control because I was feeling really up and down. There was a lot of anxiety and depression happening. So I got clear. That's what I want. And for me, the icing on the cake was visualizing that version of myself. Because truth is, that version of myself exists. I'm just not seeing it right now. So get crystal clear on what you want. That's step 2. Step 3 is belief. Belief that you can do what you say you do. Belief that it's possible. Belief that it's meant for you. Working on your mindset around what is possible. And there's a lot of really amazing practices that I've put into my life many, many times that could involve writing things down like a letter from your future self. I'm so proud of you. Look at what you've accomplished. Or put anything you put in writing, right? And reading it over and over and over to fuel the belief that you are the person who can do the thing that you say you're going to do. Okay? So really working on that belief. And that could be through talking it through with people. The internal work as well. Sitting and really tapping into your inner knowing, your intuition, and your inner self-trust. And then step 5 is taking action. So many people think that to hit a goal, the first step is to take action. But if you don't work on being grateful for what you have, being clear of where you're going, and the belief in your ability to do it, your action is going to be taken from fear and self-doubt, or maybe unworthiness. And that's not going to be aligned action. It's not going to be aligned with who you're becoming and who you want to be. So go through the first 3 steps first, and action is the 4th step. And I'm going to go back to the importance of letting it be simple. Simple, subtle action. That's making a decision that I'm going to do something about this, and here's one thing I can do, and make it easy for yourself. So for me, the one thing that I could do was incorporate more cardio into my workout. I'd already been working out. I already worked out 4 days a week, but the one thing that I wasn't doing was more high intensity cardio, because I kept hearing people say, oh, when you're in midlife, high intensity cardio isn't good, or, you should just walk. And so I was following their advice, even though high intensity cardio worked for me in the past. I was like, oh, other people don't say that's right for someone at my age. And I listened, and it was wrong for me. And so I made a decision, and I didn't decide to get intense and do like 60 minutes of high intensity cardio 4 times a week. I made it simple. I let it be 1 high intensity cardio on the spin bike, and then 2 kind of low intensity. That's how I started, because it got me into the habit of getting on the bike and not dreading it in the process. So taking action, 1 subtle shift at a time. That's step 4. Step 5 is the easiest one. Let it go. Let go of the goal. And I don't mean quit the goal. I mean you're releasing it. You're trusting that it's happening. It's happening. It's this or something better. That's one of the best things that you can say. I'm going to release this into the universe. I'm going to trust that it's coming. With my aligned action, it's going to be this or something better. And then you just let it go. And you continue to take aligned action. Sounds simple, I know. Not always simple, because all of that pesky self-doubt and criticism and it's not working will come in. I know. But it does feel good in the moment to just visualize it. One of the great visualizations that works for me is imagine putting it into a balloon, and you can, get fun with it and look at the balloon and imagine a color that's resonating with you. Put whatever goal it is that you have inside that balloon, hold on to it, give it a little love, a little, compassion from your heart and trust. And then you let it go and watch it softly and slowly drift into the sky all the way up until you can't see it anymore. But it's still there. So that's a great visualization. You just let it go. And then anytime you start doubting yourself, remember that wish, that goal, that desire is still there, and I'm still taking that aligned action. So those are the 5 steps. Let me just repeat them to you. Step 1 is gratitude. Step 2 is clarity. Step 3 is belief. Step 4, action. Step 5, let it go. And if you are somebody who is wanting to reach some goals, wanting to make some shifts in your life, the Subtle Shifts Coaching Community is available to you. I have a link in the show notes so you can schedule a time to talk with me about what it is. But just high level, it's a place where people who are wanting to make changes and shifts and positive impact in their life and want some support along the way. So you'll get support from me, which includes live coaching, and you'll also have a community of people who are along this journey with you. And just to see if it's a fit, we're going to get on a call and talk about it. Like I said before, I don't do the hard sell. I'm trauma informed. I'm not going to push you into doing something that's not aligned with what you're wanting to do, but it's a chance for you to talk about what you're wanting for yourself and just see if this community is the right spot for you, the next right decision. So click the link in the show notes below and find a time on my calendar so we can just meet and talk about it. And I would love to see you there. So thanks so much for diving in this week, and I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me. If you're ready to take the next step in transforming your life, be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you today, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts, tag me on social media, or leave a review to help others find the podcast. Remember, the smallest shifts can create the biggest transformations. I look forward to hearing from you.